moment to observe China, to learn from China, and even to get involved.
Oh, great, great. So which aspects of China do you care the most?
Well, I think one thing that's interesting is access to education, to health in rural communities and in rural parts of China.
Oh wow, well, guess what? One of our participants have a similar idea.
That's right. Let's welcome Cindy's You Care.
Let's welcome her.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Daphne Liu, and I'm very excited to be here to share with you my business idea. When I was very young, I saw a movie called Pay It Forward. And since then, I determined in my mind that one day I have to use my business love and skills to realize my dream. To make the world a better place. About that. Basically, I saw this movie and was really inspired, and so I really hope that
unless you take the things that you don't like about this world and you flip them upside down, and you can start that today.
That's me, and that's 3 people, and I'm going to help them. And they do it for 3 other people, and they do it for 3 more. But it has to be something really big, something they can't do by themselves.
my answer to this very last question on the video is yes, it is very possible. As I show on the slide, 8 million Chinese undergraduates every year are fighting for jobs in the labor market, and they cannot get a job because they are exposed to very limited internship opportunities. 150 million people in China are still considered as poverty-stricken, and 50 million children over the country do not have any access to education. In order to improve the Chinese educational level, I proposed U-Care mini-market chain, which is a chain of on-campus store whose profit will be used to establish rural libraries in rural areas in China. The main idea of my business model is the combination of business, charity, and education. And let's look at the business side. There are 2 important platforms. The physical platform, which is just the on-campus store chain, and also the online platform. There hasn't been any people done this on-campus store chain before, so the business value of this platform is very enormous. Also, we're exposed to a lot of excellent student resources that I will develop in a minute. The online platform has 3 functions: food distribution, online management, and online shopping. And we hope that one day the online platform will be transformed into online communities for students, employers, and employees. On the charity side, consider a trend of technology development. I proposed a cascade model, and library establishment is only the first step. About the school, we will select excellent students to enter our CTP career training program. And this is a happy win-win situation because students will be given excellent professional opportunities, and U-Care will be able to use low-cost student labor force who are very familiar with their school. Our management team has very strong connections, including branch managers in top universities, such as Fudan University, Xiamen University, Peking Tsinghua University, and so on. And also, we have very solid connection with influential alumni who have strong voice that might influence the policy making of the school. We also have advanced management concepts that will give personal care to our employers and encourage them to grow personally with the company. Thank you very much. We really hope that one day UCare will reach its ultimate goal to be a change people can see in China. Thank you.
Thank you, UCare. That's a very honorable cause. Don't you think so, Charlie?
I definitely agree, but I want to hear what the judges think about this.
So are there, so you said there's no chains of on-campus stores in China now. Do you have any idea of why that is and why you think you can bring one?
The reason that there hasn't been any people who realize this kind of on-campus change because it's kind of impossible for a business to get very closely involved with education in China, and it's very hard for a business to enter Chinese market. Chinese campuses, especially in the format of a kind of market chain. The reason I can do it, I think our management team can do it, is firstly, we have strong connections, just as I mentioned. And I think connection is very important in China, in a point that if we have a very strong voice that might influence the policy making of the school and might have governmental connections that will support our proposal, it is very likely for our proposal to pass. And also, actually my idea comes from the charity bookstore in Xiamen University. And please go to the second appendix. So this is the Xiamen University charity bookstore. And they only have an individual store over there. And I think if we start to reform this bookstore to the model I'm proposing, and it is more likely that for us to copy this kind of model in other universities. Thank you.
First of all, I have to applaud you for wanting to make the world a better place. I think that's a great and honourable idea. With this kind of model, I think one of the things that you really have to consider, and I'm sure you have, is your distribution channels. How are you going to not only get enough books to distribute to multiple libraries, but keep the sources fresh, keep it updated? Have you thought about that?
Yes, that's one of the purposes I designed an online platform, because we can connect the book resources from different stores and we can share the information online. And also, please go to the third appendix. So, like I said, the first step of our charity development is the library, and we are thinking about cooperating with Love Charity Foundation, which is a very mature organization in the United States that is dedicated to establish rural libraries in China, just as I expected. And also, the other day I was talking to Xu Daling, and she is the very important chair in Give to China Asia, and he said that Give to Asia is now running an experiment to test the feasibility of popularizing iPad in rural areas in China. And think when the timing is right and when iPad is popularized to be a life necessity in China, it is very possible for us to cooperate with Give to Asia and run this kind of program.
Apple will love you for that statement.
Thank you.
How will you make this model sustainable? Because it will take a lot of money and a lot of people to get them involved, keep them involved, keep it running.
Yes, one of the very important barriers that I'm thinking about is how to maintain the sustainability of the student resources. Please go to the second appendix. So I'm talking about the second, the second barrier of the sustainability of student workers. So my idea is to give them incentives with annual rewards and some kind of charitable or volunteer awards at the end of every year. And also we may encourage them to work for us for money. And also we will offer the time-based work travel plan, which is mark the map with your revenue. 1 RMB is 1 meter. Let's see which store travels around the world first. With this kind of motivation, each store will competing with each other, so that it is very likely for them to keep being motivated to run a business and try to grow. Thank you.
Talk a little bit more about
team basically is a group of people who are in different areas in China, especially in different top universities. So currently, we already have solid connection with Xiamen University because of the charity store I've just mentioned. And also, part of the team is the alumni of universities who supports the education development in China. So these three parties, I mean me and the branch managers and alumni, creates a kind of stable, triangular kind of structure of management. And also, the 4-day establishment of online platform.
Thank you, you care.
Thank you.
Next up, I would like to welcome our next contestant, Opening Design.
Opening Design is the online market service for the building industry. Let's welcome.
Hello. I'm representing OpeningDesign.com today, and I'm going to begin by introducing our team. Thank you. The founder's name is Ryan Schultz. He's a licensed architect with more than 15 years of experience. His two areas of expertise are emerging technologies and open source concepts for the architecture, engineering, and construction worlds. He's the previous founder of Studio Architecture, which is a firm that won several awards, and also developed a plugin for Second Life to allow crowdsourcing of building design. My name is Osha Timshel. I'm also an architect, although I am not yet licensed. My area of expertise is collaboration within the building industry. I'm also an MBA candidate here at UC Berkeley Hospital Bears. Next. All right, so surprise, surprise, our concept is about the building industry. And the issue that we're trying to deal with is that modern buildings are incredibly complex. And to get through our day, we rely on a huge network of experts. For the big things, we hire consultants, of course, for structural and civil engineering and those things. But every day there are tons of pesky little annoying questions that just aren't big enough to warrant hiring a consultant, but we still need a little bit of help with. So what do we do? Next. Next, please. Well, it's a hodgepodge of things right now. Basically, we ask the person sitting next to us, or we call a friend who works at another firm. Sometimes we just look stuff up on the internet when we don't know the answer. And you would think that online forums would be a really handy source of information, but unfortunately, online forums have 3 deadly flaws. Next. 1, there is no incentive for anyone to bother answering my question at all. And secondly, when they do, I have no way of gauging how reliable that person is. And thirdly, online forums are entirely text-based. And in an inherently visual field like architecture, this just doesn't make a lot of sense. So when OpeningDesign.com launches, it will be an online forum that solves all 3 of these problems and puts every other online forum to shame. Next. So I'll be able to upload a drawing or a picture to explain my problem, and I can collaborate with as many people as I want through a live markup tool that we've developed and trademarked called Sketchbase. Next, please. And in addition, everyone participating on the site will have a reputation ranking that's peer-mediated, so that as they answer questions well, their reputation rises, and as they answer them poorly, the opposite happens. So obviously this helps us solve the issue of my not being able to gauge the reliability of the person from whom I'm accepting help. But in addition, it addresses the incentive issue, because people can use their profile and its associated reputation ranking as another form of marketing themselves or their business. So, we see this as a tool that will be able to bring building knowledge anywhere in the world that it's needed. But we understand that an architect working in rural China, for example, may not be able to pay a waterproofing specialist in San Francisco, which is why we have several tools to address that via virtual currency and other things like that. OpeningDesign.com puts a global world of technical experts right at your fingertips. So go out and build something cool.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, with the housing boom and the huge real estate market in China, I think we can see how this would fit in nicely. Are there questions from the judges?
Let me not start with revenue. How are you going to reward the collaborators, and how are you going to allow them to protect their individual ideas?